I know that sinking feeling. Your check engine light flashes on, and suddenly you're picturing a $1,000 repair bill or worse. It's serious, but here's what most drivers don't realize. Sometimes it's caused by something so simple, as basic as everyday car care. A fix you can do right in your driveway. One cause is so sneaky, it happens while your car is parked. Let's dive into 19 easy fixes. Reason number 19, loose or faulty gas cap. Don't let a $10 part send you into panic mode. Yes, your check engine light might be screaming because your gas cap isn't tight. Sounds ridiculous, but it's one of the most common and overlooked reasons the light comes on, especially right after filling up. Here's what's really happening. Your car's Evap system is a closed loop. It's designed to trap fuel vapors. A loose, cracked, or missing gas cap, that creates a leak in the system, triggering codes like P0455 or P0457. You might notice a slight fuel smell around the car. No weird noises, no strange driving behavior, just a glowing light on your dash making your heart skip. The fix? Twist that cap until it clicks. If it's damaged or missing, grab a new one for under $15. Just make sure it's OEM or high-quality aftermarket. Some cheap caps won't seal properly, and the light will stay on. After fixing it, give the car a few starts or drive cycles. If that was the issue, the light will turn off on its own. If the tiniest twist can solve it, what happens when your engine's sniffer stops sniffing? Reason number 18, faulty oxygen sensor. This tiny sensor is your car's fuel efficiency watchdog. It monitors how rich or lean your engine is running and tells the ECU how to adjust. Over time, it wears out. Carbon builds up. Readings get fuzzy, and eventually, that dreaded check engine light shows up. You might notice your MPG dropping fast. Maybe the car hesitates, or idles rougher than a Monday morning. These are red flags. But what do many drivers do? Just reset the light and hope for a miracle. Mechanics will happily clear the code, then smile as it comes back, because every visit means another sweet deposit into their pocket. You can't expect to cruise past 100,000 miles and not face sensor wear. Most O2 sensors won't last that long without getting lazy or clogged. And when they go bad, your fuel-air mix goes out of whack. More gas burned, less power, and yeah, good luck passing emissions. Look out for codes like PU0131, PU0133, or P0154. Use a scanner to find the culprit. Some cars have up to 4 sensors. Replace the bad one. Once a year isn't a bad habit. Parts run about $4,200 with labor costs extra unless you DIY. Turns out, the real trouble might be hiding in fumes. Vapor trails that lead straight to an overlooked trap door. Reason number 17, Evap, purge valve, or canister failure. If your car smells like a gas station, listen up. That strong fuel odor, hard starts after filling up, or weird idle. Yep, your Evap system could be acting up. And the usual troublemakers? The purge valve or charcoal canister. These two are responsible for trapping and recycling fuel vapors so they don't escape into the air or your nose. When either fails, vapors leak and your check engine light pops on. The purge valve controls when vapors move into the engine. If it sticks open or closed, things get chaotic fast. Too much vapor? You flood the engine. Too little? You stall. Meanwhile, the charcoal canister is like a vapor sponge. Once it's cracked or clogged, it's game over. Vapors escape, and codes like P0441 or P0446 appear. The tricky part? It doesn't always mess with your driving right away, so drivers ignore it until gas mileage suffers and emissions take a hit. To fix it, test the system using a scan tool or smoke machine. Once confirmed, replace the faulty part. Valves cost around $30–90. Canisters, $100–300. Speaking of leaks, what if your car's choking on its own breath? If that made your engine nervous, smash like it's a stuck valve. And subscribe, because this isn't just car advice, it's mechanic-proof armor for your wallet. Reason number 16, faulty exhaust gas recirculation. Your car's trying to breathe recycled air, and it's choking. That's the job of the exhaust gas recirculation valve. It recirculates a bit of exhaust gas back into the intake to lower combustion temps and reduce nasty nitrogen oxides emissions. Smart, eco-friendly stuff until it gums up. Over time, carbon builds up in the EGR passages. Think of it like cholesterol in your arteries. Airflow gets restricted, and suddenly, your engine can't breathe right. Frequent short trips, low-quality fuel, and rarely hitting highway speeds? These habits fast-track carbon buildup. The valve sticks, sometimes wide open, sometimes shut tight. Either way, performance takes a hit. Then come the symptoms: rough idle, stalling at red lights, and sluggish acceleration. Your car feels heavy, like it's gasping for air with a sock stuffed in the intake. It's simple. Start by cleaning the EGR valve. A can of cleaner and a bit of patience might solve it. If it's beyond saving, replacing it costs between less than $200. Don't forget to check vacuum lines or solenoids. They can leak too. Clean it up and your engine will breathe easy, with smoother power and cleaner emissions. It's not just gasping anymore, now it's groaning, shifting like it's stuck in molasses. Something's miscommunicating below deck. Reason number 15. Transmission sensor issues. If your ride jerks between gears, hesitates, or suddenly slams into limp mode, your transmission speed sensors might be on the fritz. These little guys, called input and output sensors, tell your car how fast the transmission is spinning. That info helps the electronic control unit know when to shift and how to sync with the engine. But when one of them fails, the system gets lost. Shifting becomes rough, slow, or flat out wrong. In some cases, your car won't go past second gear. It's like your transmission throws its hands up and says, "Nope, I'm done." The check engine light pops on. Sometimes, the transmission warning light joins the party. You'll feel it in the drive too, especially under acceleration. Scan tools often reveal codes like P0720 or P0715. Don't ignore them. Prolonged sensor failure puts strain on the transmission itself. That's a whole other headache. Change the bad sensor. They usually cost almost a tenth of replacing the entire transmission. Some cars require draining the transmission fluid to access it, so be ready for a little mess. And just when you think it's mechanical, the trail leads back to your own upgrades turning traitor. Reason number 14. Aftermarket modifications, or parts. Aftermarket parts can boost style, sound, or power, but they can also wreak havoc on your car's computer if you're not careful. That flashy cold air intake might mess with your MAF sensor. A cheap oxygen sensor could trigger false lean codes. Straight pipe exhaust? Your ECU might hate it. Modern cars are picky, especially automatics. They're programmed to expect OEM precision. Swap in a part with slightly different airflow, pressure, or sensor data, and suddenly the engine freaks out. Misfire codes, lean conditions, or random check engine lights start showing up like confetti. It's not just about bad parts, it's about mismatched data. Your ECU sees something unexpected and throws a code to protect itself. No warning, no mercy. If you notice the light came on right after a mod, start there. Revert to OEM parts, or reprogram the ECU to recognize the new setup. Reputable brands like K&N or Cobb are safer bets, but even then, tuning may still be needed. If you mod, do it smart. If your car acts up, check what you changed. Not all upgrades play nice under the hood. Want to know which mods are actually worth it and which ones can slowly murder your engine? See 13 mods that are worth it and 7 that kill your engine up here. Reason number 13. Software glitches. Today's cars are rolling computers with mood swings. From throttle response to fuel delivery, transmission timing to emissions, almost everything in modern vehicles is run by software. That means when your check engine light pops on, it's not always a broken part. Sometimes, it's just a glitch in the matrix. Corrupted ECU files, glitchy firmware, a miscommunication between modules. It happens more than you'd think, especially in newer vehicles stacked with tech. You might see the check engine light flicker on randomly. Scan tools show no codes or weird ones that come and go. The car still drives fine. No noises, no smells, no smoke, just that annoying light haunting your dash. So what's going on? It could be a software bug. Automakers often push out firmware updates to fix these quirks. Sometimes, there's a technical service bulletin that covers your exact issue, especially if it's common across your model. Take it to a dealer or a shop with ECU programming tools. They'll reflash or update the software. The light vanishes for good. You don't need to replace these parts blindly. Sometimes your car just needs a digital reset, not a wrench. No warning, no reason, just a blinking light and a dashboard mystery that might be temperature or trickery. Reason number 12. Faulty engine coolant temperature sensor. Your engine's thermometer might be lying to you. The engine coolant temperature sensor tells your car's brain exactly how hot things are running. Sounds simple, right? But when this tiny sensor goes bad, it can seriously confuse your engine. You might be wondering, why the check engine light and not the temp gauge warning? Here's the twist. The ECT doesn't just control temperature readings. It also helps manage fuel delivery, idle speed, and even cooling fan timing. A faulty ECT can trick your car into thinking it's freezing when it's not, or overheating when everything's fine. That means rich fuel mixtures, wasted gas, and weird engine behavior. Sometimes your fan runs non-stop. Other times, it never kicks in. Both are bad news. And yes, the check engine light can come on intermittently. One day it's on, the next it's off. But those codes, like P0117 or P01118, don't lie. Swap out the sensor. It's a $15 to $80 part, depending on your car. Some models have it built into the thermostat housing, so check with a pro for help. Don't wait for the engine to overheat or the light to become permanent. This fix is quick, cheap, and worth every penny. Reason number 11, low battery voltage or charging system fault. Ever yanked the battery cable hoping the light resets? Yeah, we've all done it. But if the check engine light popped on after a cold start, jump, or even swapping your battery, listen up. Modern cars are computer controlled. They crave clean, stable voltage. A weak battery or flaky alternator sends dirty power through your system. The result? Your ECU freaks out. Modules misfire. Sensors go haywire. Suddenly, you've got 3 random codes and 0 real symptoms. You might see codes for the throttle body, MAF sensor, misfires, or all of them at once. But before you panic, check the basics. Is your battery more than 3 to 4 years old? Is the alternator charging properly? Are your lights dimming or your engine cranking slower than usual? Low voltage can trip the check engine light without anything being mechanically wrong. Your car's electronics just can't function on a dying power supply. The fix is simple. Test the battery and alternator. Most auto parts stores will do it for free. Replace the bad one, clear the codes, and drive. Ignore it, and you're not just risking a no start. You're inviting glitchy behavior that'll drive you and your wallet crazy. Power's stable again. Or is it? Because now the light's whispering something about pressure in a place you rarely see. Reason number 10, bad fuel tank pressure sensor. It's not your gas cap again. This time, the culprit could be sneakier. Your fuel tank pressure sensor. It's part of the Evap system, and it keeps tabs on vapor pressure in the tank. But if you've ever topped off to the brim, fueled up too quickly, or let bubbles form in the nozzle, yeah, you've unknowingly stressed it out. It doesn't scream when it goes bad. No sputters or smells, just a check engine light that keeps coming back. You might also notice the gas pump clicking off early, even when your tank's still thirsty, or your MPG taking a quiet nosedive. This little sensor lives on top of the tank, out of sight, out of mind, and often it's misdiagnosed as a loose gas cap or a leak somewhere else. Sometimes, just driving a bit or fueling slowly helps the system recalibrate. But if it's gone for good, replacing it may require dropping the tank. A bit of labor, but worth the peace of mind. So next time you fill up, go easy. Your fuel system likes it smooth, not a full throttle splash party. Pressure check, still glowing? Time to follow the scent of sulfur and the rattle beneath your feet. Reason number 9, failing catalytic converter. This one's not cheap, but it's still better than replacing your entire engine. The catalytic converter filters harmful gases before they hit the atmosphere. When it clogs, cracks, or melts down, your engine suffers, and your check engine light doesn't blink, it screams. What causes it is long-term abuse. Running too rich for too long, burning oil, ignoring misfires. Even a bad oxygen sensor upstream can poison the cat over time. How do you know it's failing? The signs are sneaky at first. A rotten egg, sulfur smell, sluggish acceleration, or a rattling noise from underneath. Suddenly, your fuel economy tanks, and the engine feels like it's towing a boat. You can confirm it with a scan tool and look for codes like P0420 or a temperature test before and after the cat. Replacement costs $900 plus, depending on your car. But don't just swap it and move on. Find and fix the root cause or you'll burn through a new one fast. Your catalytic converter is like your car's lungs. If it can't breathe, neither can your performance or your bank account. Reason number 8, sticky throttle plate. This is the gatekeeper for airflow into your engine. Press the pedal, it opens. Let off, it closes. Simple, until carbon shows up and gums up the works. Over time, grime and soot build around the throttle body. That sticky mess makes the plate hesitate. It doesn't open fast. It doesn't close clean. So, you feel lag when accelerating. Downshifts become jerky, and in some cases, your car throws a tantrum. Cue the lightning bolt icon, or codes like P2111 or P0121. Modern cars rely on precise throttle control. A sticky plate throws off the whole rhythm. But don't panic, this is a DIY-friendly fix. Grab a can of throttle body cleaner and a soft cloth. Spray, wipe, repeat. Clean both sides of the plate and the bore it sits in. Don't go stabbing with screwdrivers. This isn't a wrestling match. Once clean, let the car idle for a few minutes. It'll relearn the proper throttle position. Grime builds, response lags, but the real slowdown? It's hidden in a valve that's all brains and no backup. Reason number 6, sludged VVT solenoid. Your engine's timing is smart until sludge makes it stupid. That's the job of the VVT solenoid. It controls cam timing for power, efficiency, and smoothness. But when oil gets dirty, thick, or wrong altogether, things go sideways. Sludge loves this tiny part. It clogs the passages, slows response, and throws your timing off just enough to make your engine act weird. Suddenly, your once smooth ride feels rough. Acceleration lags, idle gets shaky, and then the check engine light pops with codes like P011 or P044. Classic VVT trouble. So what might have happened? Missed oil changes, wrong viscosity, or maybe your last quick lube shop cut corners. Cheap filters don't help either. Start with an oil change. Use the right grade and a quality filter. That alone might clear it up. If it's still acting up, remove the solenoid and clean it with brake or carb cleaner. Worst case, a replacement runs about $150. Keep this one clean and your engine stays sharp, because in modern engines, bad oil doesn't just hurt performance, it messes with the brain. Reason number 5, hidden vacuum leak. It's not always a broken part, it might just be a broken seal. Your engine runs on balance, air and fuel dancing in perfect sync. But a hidden vacuum leak, that throws off the whole rhythm. Air sneaks in without permission, past cracked hoses, dry gaskets, or a worn-out intake boot, and your engine gets confused. The result? It starts guessing, rough idle, and struggle to start. The check engine light flares up. You scan for answers and get a code like P0171 or P0174. A clue, but not the full story. The tricky part, you can't always see these leaks. Some make a soft hiss, others stay silent. Mechanics use smoke to expose the leaks. A puff of vapor finds its way through even the tiniest crack. Sometimes, all it takes is a cheap rubber hose or tightening a clamp. Other times, it's a gasket under the intake that needs resealing. Either way, ignoring it only invites poor fuel economy and weird drivability issues. Don't just fix what's broken. Seal what's sneaky. You fixed the leak. So why is it still hesitating? Maybe it's listening to the wrong airflow whisperer. Reason number 4, dirty mass airflow, MAF, sensor. The mass airflow, MAF, sensor is your car's personal airflow accountant. It tells the computer exactly how much air is rushing in, so fuel delivery can be spot on. But when it gets dirty, the whole system goes out of whack. Blame dusty air filters, oily filters, or even silicone sprays. A thin film of grime is all it takes to send bad data. The result? Your engine starts second-guessing everything. Sluggish throttle, strange hesitation, fuel economy drops. The idle might dance. Sometimes, it won't even throw a clear code. Just vibes and a blinking check engine light. If you do get a code, look for P0101 or anything airflow related. You can resolve the issues by cleaning it. Use MAF safe cleaner only. No brake cleaner, no paper towels. Unplug the sensor, spray it gently, and let it dry completely. If it still acts up, time for a replacement. One point to note, don't oil your filters like you're making salad. Excess oil can ruin the sensor fast. Reason number 3, stuck open thermostat. The thermostat isn't just a valve, it's the gatekeeper of engine warmth. It stays closed when the engine is cold, then opens up once things hit the sweet spot. But when it's stuck open, the engine never gets cozy, and that's a big deal. When your engine runs too cold, the computer keeps dumping extra fuel like it's still warming up. You burn more gas, performance drops, rise and emissions go up, all while your cabin heater blows out a weak, lukewarm breeze. Yep, that's a clue. You might never see the temp gauge rise. You might feel the heater isn't pulling its weight until check engine light with code PG128 shows up. Scan it or zap it with an infrared thermometer. If it runs cool after 10-15 minutes of driving, the thermostat's probably done. Replacement is cheap, $20 to $40, but don't skip bleeding the cooling system afterward. Air pockets can throw even more codes. Reason number 2, failing crankshaft position sensor. You turn the key and nothing. No crank, no roar, just silence and frustration. Welcome to one of the most annoying symptoms of a failing crankshaft position sensor. This sensor tells your ECU where the crank is, so it can time the spark. No signal, no spark. No spark, no start. Simple as that. And what's worse, it's a heat-sensitive drama queen. It works cold, then cuts out once things heat up under the hood. One minute you're cruising, the next, it stalls at a red light, or it starts missing like it's trying to speak Morse code, and good luck diagnosing it. Sometimes the check engine light flashes a P0335, sometimes it hides completely. Don't confuse it with a bad battery or dying fuel pump. This failure plays dirty. The fix is straightforward. Replace the sensor. Most run between $40 and $120. But don't skip the relearn procedure with a scan tool. The engine needs to sync back up, or you'll still get weird behavior. You've checked everything mechanical, electrical, and digital, but there's one thing you didn't expect: teeth marks. Reason number 1, chewed wires from rodents. Rodents don't need a wrench to wreck your car. All it takes is a cold night, a cozy engine bay, and some tasty soy-based wire insulation. Yep, your wiring is basically spaghetti to them. And the damage? It's sneaky. No warning signs, just a sudden check engine light, and chaos. You might see misfire codes, traction control errors, strange electrical glitches, rough idle for no reason. Everything seems fine until it's not. The sensors aren't broken, they're just chewed, shorted, or totally disconnected. And once those wires are exposed, a spark could mean an engine fire. Pop the hood and inspect around the battery, airbox, firewall, and under plastic covers. Look for shredded wires, bite marks, or bits of nesting. If you're lucky, it's a quick splice job. If not, you might be staring down a full wiring harness replacement. Don't wait for the damage. Use peppermint spray, rodent tape, or ultrasonic repellents. Keep your garage clean, no food, no trash, no clutter. Because when rats move in, your car becomes a buffet and your check engine light becomes the bill. Not to mention the embarrassment when they show up on the dash when you have people in the car. Now you've got 19 simple fixes to fight back. Ready to outsmart your mechanic? Dive into the next one. 15 car maintenance tips mechanics don't want you to know.